Okay, so hello, welcome back everyone. Today I'm Kevin from Kevo MC, and what I have today is my new Leica Hektor P2 85mm f2.8. So I got this thing off my Leica P150 projector, which I bought for like again ultra cheap like I usually do. And I put this lens into this aperture, what the heck, into this, what you call this thing? Like a focusing tube essentially, that I 3D printed. The initial design that I made for this thing was supposed to allow me to like twist focus, cause it has these threads, and I'm supposed to like have some small niblet that's like supposed to hold the, what's it called, I think, the groove, and like push the lens forward and backwards with the groove. Thing is that when I printed out this thing and the print actually arrived to me after some guy printed it, it actually arrived without that small bit right there. Now, to be honest, I could have like added a small bit with like super glue or something like that, but in the end I found it a bit hard to do, and also because of the fact that this thing actually shrunk a lot, I had to like sand the whole thing out. So in the end I took like 6 hours just to perfect the print, and now it's moving smoothly. So this thing focuses to infinity at about this far from the focusing bit. This bit is the locking bit, like this last bit right here. This thing is not filed that deep because of the fact that I actually want to lock the lens in, and I don't want to fall it out like suddenly. So this is how far it is when you're at infinity, and I can actually focus to like 15 cm I think when you go about this far away. I wouldn't advise going more than this because obviously this bit has some play in the front, and you don't want to have some, or more like any play in your lens. Going about this far is like perfect as heck. It doesn't really wobble at all. Infinity doesn't really wobble at all, so it just wobbles when you go like under 30 cm, and then you get some wobble. So next thing you might ask, since this thing's a projector lens, it should have zero aperture. Now okay, I do have an aperture before this thing, which is, oh yeah, I think it's inside the lens. Yeah, okay. So the aperture's inside here. Let me go show you how I take this thing out. Now to be honest, this thing's not the easiest aperture to take out, but it comes out easily and sticks in properly, so it doesn't like fall out on its own. In the start, I actually wanted to design the aperture like this, which gave me a design that actually like stuck. Let me take this here out. That actually stuck on the front, like on the back like this, and didn't come in. Now there are two problems to this solution. First problem is that this thing shrunk in the print and it does not stay on. Second reason is obviously that when this thing arrived from the print, I actually put some blue tack, like this blue tack. If you don't know what blue tack is, it's like some sticky stuff that used to like stick paper on walls. Now I put some of this, and this actually stuck up there. Problem is that this thing produced like a huge vignette on my image. So how did I do this? I just cut this thing, because obviously this thing is made of TPU plastic, so it's flexible. This is one of the parts that are supposed to be a body cap, I mean the lens cap, but in the end I did not use this thing because obviously it shrunk and it will not fit properly in this, so it's probably useless. And I might make some interestingly shaped apertures with this thing, like squares and stars and stuff like that, but I'm not very sure. So this I've not yet shaped in some way that actually allows me to put this thing inside, but this I've shaved some material off, and now it actually slots in pretty easily. So I've painted this white TPU because I don't have any black TPU, with some matte black nail polish. And so this is the matte black piece. Then this is just standard, what you call this thing, marker I'd say, cause yeah, I think it's marker. I think I did this about a few days ago, so I don't really remember everything I used. So this is nice, and it just slots in like this, pretty simply. Then just press it down. There you go. Some dirt on the side of this thing. Let me go wipe this stuff off. Okay, now this then goes in here. And if you wish to not use the aperture, you can actually do that most of the time. Because this thing's an f2.8, not like an f2 or an f1.5 or 4, you can actually use this thing most of the day with the aperture wide open. But what the heck's on my phone? So, but sometimes you actually do not want to have this thing wide open, like if you're shooting right against the sun. This thing will overexpose even with the A7S's maximum shutter speed of like, I don't know, I think like 1/8000 maybe, I forgot. So in broad daylight you actually do have to use an aperture, but in most circumstances you don't need to use an aperture. Like most of the time I shoot in like, what you call it, I think like twilight, I'd say. So not really bright, not really dark, like about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning or night. And that is actually very usable with this thing wide open. This thing produces really cool flares. Let me go show some images on screen if I can actually do that. And this thing, I'd say, in the start, when I started like using this thing, I did not find anything interesting with the lens itself. But then, after using it for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, I actually found out that this thing actually produces really cool flare, and that flares the like the highlight of this lens. Even though this optics is very deep inside of this lens, if you can actually see. Let me go focus. Okay, see? So the optics like really deep, like look at how deep this thing is. It's like this deep. And so this deep is about, let me go show you how long my finger is. It's like 5 cm deep. So 5 cm deep optic, and this thing does not kill flares, which is awesome in some way, and also pretty odd in some ways, but I actually like this lens a lot. And for the fact that you can actually find these things for cheap on eBay and stuff like that is a plus point of this lens. Now, oh yeah, let me go show you how I made this thing. So this is just a tube made in Fusion 360, which is like super easy to make. You can make tubes any day, anywhere. And for the mount, I actually do not know how to make a mount. Or actually I do, but I'm too lazy to make a mount by myself in Fusion 360. So what I did instead was I got one of these body caps, like this. But you wanna find one of those fake body caps, one of those like fake as heck super cheap Sony body caps, because of the fact that they actually secure on the body way more tight than the original ones. This is an original Sony body cap, and this thing twists like so easy. See? This is a fake body cap, and let me go show you how hard it is to like take off. See, it's like super hard to take off. And so that's one of the plus points for the body cap that's fake. Although I rarely use these fake body caps in like standard form. Now, so what you do is just print this thing out. Then what I do is I drilled like 10 holes I think on the sides. Then I use my Dremel to like file the edges off. And then use some super glue to like stick the whole, what you call this thing, focusing tube on the side, and that's it. You're done. So I think that's it for my video today. I'm gonna be showing some sample images after this, because I usually don't do that, but I'm gonna start putting in sample images, I hope. So thank you for everyone for everything up to today, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.